what I wanted to just talk about were three of the smaller enhancements that came out in the 12.3.1 release. So the first one is the created from checklist checkbox on the activity. Let me hold on one second. Okay. So if I go to a work order, and now this is for a follow-up work order. So I'm on my checklist. I click my checklist item and I create a follow-up work order from that checklist item. How can I tell that that work order that's been released has an activity that was generated from a checklist? So one thing that we always recommend doing is when you're setting up that checklist and for that follow-up work order to be generated is always including follow-up in the description. That's a nice, easy way to say, oh, this is a follow-up work order. This is something that I need to pay attention to here. But now on the activities tab, there's this created from checklist item. So you can actually go in and see which checklist item this came from. So if you don't see this on your screen, you can add it in Screen Designer as well as you can add this to your view here. But if I click Actions, View Originating Checklist Item, if you also don't see this, I had to do this for my screen, is go in and make this option enabled in Screen Designer. But if I click it, I can actually see the specific checklist item that this was generated from. So, if I've got a checklist that say if the engine temp reading is over 100, then what I want to do is, generate a follow-up work order from that. I can go in and see, hey, what was this engine temp reading? Okay, when I've got my follow-up work order, is it still at 110? Is it increase? Has it decrease? And then I can determine what actual work I need to provide for that. So that was kind of the first one out of the box, kind of nice and easy to cover. The second one, this one is actually probably my favorite one that I've seen, um, is looking at Grid Designer. And when you make a edit to a grid, as you know, if I go to record view and okay, say I go to my grid here and I want to add a field. What that does is it deactivates the grid and I have to create my default data spy. I have to reactivate it. But I also lose all of the data spies that are associated to that grid and I need to re-add them. So I would think for most of your grids that you add, there's probably, at least a few data spies that are custom, but I know we have customers where, they have 100 200 different data spies, especially on, grids that are copies of the work order screen or looking at, you know, purchase orders or looking at maybe it's a view of an integration coming in and you want to just see those values. Those kind of different things might require a lot of data spies. Well, with the new release, um, they have prevented, and I would always test this in your test environment before moving into production. But the only thing that will delete data spies now is the removing of a table. So if I was to take this and delete R5 orders and say I wanted to do this alert management grid on R5 order lines, that would then delete my data spies and I would need to go in and re-add them. But if I'm just adding a table, if I'm going in and adding a field, then my data spies should be saved when I either go back to my grid or if I need to revalidate it, I can do that. There is this where used tab as well that they added. Um, so to help system admin better assess the impact of any changes. So if you need to go in and, delete a table or something like that, there is this where used tab that'll tell you if there are any alerts associated to it. If any of the grid fields are using hyperlinks, filtering, sorting, giving you a data spy layout. So instead of having to, email someone and say, hey, what is this like data spy that you associated to this grid and what is it saying? You can actually get that information from this Where Used tab here. It looks a little clunky, but it has a lot of the info that you would need to determine what are all these data spies that are associated to your grid here. And the last one I wanted to cover was email notification failures. So this topic I'll kind of leave as an open-ended discussion. Rebecca and I were actually just talking about some of the testing we were doing and trying to get some of these notification failures to pop up here. But what they added in the new release here, so if I go to my email viewer, say I've got a email template and an email notification set up that when I get a work order assigned to me, it sends me an email. Well, what they've added in this new release, there's an actions notification failures. So they've had this notification failures, but what you are able to do is you're able to unblock a notification failure. So if a mailbox is full, for example, of someone, or say, for example, that email doesn't exist, or there's a reason why that notification is being blocked. If that user then goes in and clears out their mailbox, or that user becomes unblocked, you can actually, or sorry, that user becomes reactivated in your Outlook, you can actually come in and unblock that notification from failing out, and it'll start rerunning for that user. So what would happen in the past is there would be a sequence of rerunning. I think it would run 2 or 3 times before eventually failing out, but you do have this ability to unblock. Now, saying that, I haven't had any success with getting any failures to pop up in here in the sense that we've had, deactivated users that I've gone in and tested and haven't been able to successfully get anything to pop up in this notification failures. It just sends out as email sent, and then I don't get anything filled out if there's an email I'm trying to send that, no longer exists in our system. So if there's anyone who has been able to use this or has the issue of, hey, this notification failures, I want to be able to unblock this. I would say if there's anyone who has had success with that, feel free to chime in or put something in the chat, and we can either create a new video on it or do something with that, or just reaching out to Octave too. I know this is a new feature, so there's always something that I could be doing wrong, but there could be something where there's a new patch release as well. So figured with that, I would just open up the floor, any questions or comments. But those are pretty much the main features that I wanted to cover today.
Thanks, Jordan. There is one question here. When you navigate to the originating checklist item on the follow-up, what are the options in the actions menu within the pop-up?
Let's take a look.
And I believe if you double click on the checklist item, it will show you the documents. Yep. So you can either double click to view the documents, or you can select from the actions dropdown.